The controversy over a bill requiring Wisconsin voters to show a photo ID before casting their ballots is not over. A new version of the bill is back in the state's assembly this week, but this time it has proposals Republicans say will protect the right to vote. News 8's James Bushman introduces us to the legislation.
Carrie, we may be out of election season, but that isn't stopping Republicans from fast-tracking a bill to reinstate voter ID. The first bill passed in 2011, but got stuck in the court before it could ever take effect. Now a new bill is trying to revive the law, but not without making some changes first. It will be deja vu on the Wisconsin Assembly floor on Tuesday. Lawmakers will once again be figuring out how to make voter ID legal and constitutional.
Problem is what constitutes an acceptable voter ID and how easy access it is, and whether you have to end up paying for it. Because some people, it would be a problem, frankly.
The bill presented allows people to opt out of showing an ID if a person has religious objections to being photographed, says they're too poor and can't afford an ID, or can't obtain documents necessary to get one. Republicans say they plan on changing that part of the bill after numerous complaints at a hearing last week.
It's giving people who may not have the means or the ability to obtain the proper identification still a chance to have their voice heard. The Republican Party has candidates for office too. You know, we want voters to get out.
I think it can work if it's done carefully. It's just that the combination of the previous voter ID and this one, it'll be interesting to see how they both blend together.
But the bill is lacking any Democratic support. Representative Jill Billings says that's because there are other priorities.
We still rank 45th in job creation in the United States, and I wish we could focus on that. Let's work to create some jobs. We're working on suppressing the vote.
We've been in a nonstop election season since 2010, really, with right now being the exception. We finally have a break. And now that we have that break, it's a good time and it's a good opportunity to look at ways that we can improve the process.
We really don't have an issue with this. In Wisconsin, we have clean elections, and this is just creating roadblocks for people.
One of the provisions that's been added would allow an ID card, a veteran ID card, to count, so they wouldn't need a driver's license or another picture, photo ID. And that's a great provision, but nobody's talking about that.
Now, as Bradley said, this isn't bill only trying to revive voter ID. Some other changes include proof of residency documents, limiting recalls, and restricting early voting.
All right, thanks, James. A hearing is scheduled for the bill on Tuesday, about a week before any action will be taken on the state budget.